Welcome friends, Retro Commodore Space Magic. In this video we return to the Red Obelisk to try to find the Red Obelisk. We also put the joystick in the appropriate port. There we go. Okay, now let's see. If you haven't watched the previous video on the Red Obelisk, then watching it would probably give you a little more of an idea of what's going on here. But we start off with this gem. So let's start off with a little electrodes. Give it some good electrodes. Oh, zappy, zappy. Of course, that uses up power. We don't want to use too much. Don't want to use up too much power. Its value is 116. We don't want to use the lasers. We could hit it with the little pellet thing, but I don't want to do that just with this first gem. A little more electrodes. See, its value is going up every time we do that. So a little more on the electrodes. Watch the power, 260, good enough. Let's accept it, absorb it. There we go. And then off to collect more cargo. In the asteroid belt. With the smoothest moving ship there ever was. Whoop, come on. That there asteroid belt right into the scoop. Cargo scoop. Got it. Got it like crazy, baby. Let's see. Just a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of nudging. There we go. More into the cargo scoop. See, this right here, this is as far down as you can go. And this is as far up as you can go. So when it comes to maneuvering out of the way of asteroids, you have to keep that in mind. This is as far left as you can go, and this is as far right as you can go. As we fly through the asteroid belt, collecting resources. We'll get one more while keeping an eye on our power. Nothing uses power faster than flying through the asteroid belt. Well, maybe flying through the asteroid belt and using the tractor beam at the same time. So let's go back to the lab. Okay, this one starts off with a value of 4, so we don't want to waste too much juice on it. Value of 31, 40. Let's see. This one starts off with a value of 32, a little better. Let's give it one called Ploink. Now it's a value of 64. We do have the lasers, which we haven't used yet. But the lasers usually just destroy whatever you're working on. Okay, absorb it. This one, lasers, no. Might as well. This ship is almost done anyhow. Oh. I'm not exactly sure when you're supposed to use the lasers, at what point you're supposed to use the lasers. I don't remember all the little details of the instructions. I know there's a certain point at which the lasers are good to use. Back into the cargo, the spacey place. Haven't found that red obelisk yet, but we're looking. Okay, let's just go back to the lab with what we have here. Value of 66. Let's go. Hit it with one of those suckers. Value of 132. Just a little bit of squeakity beakity 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 beakity. 177. Okay, let's absorb that. Back into the asteroid belt. Really close. Really close now. They're using up all our energy. Oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. $154. Oh, we have to go back to the lab because we're so low on power. Oh, this one's only worth 18. Let's just laser it. Maybe it's based on the weight or the density or something like that when you can use the laser on it. Well, we might as well just go out to the asteroid belt now, my baby. I see if we look at the status on the right, we've discovered 1 gem so far. Whatever good that does. You know, I really should look up the instructions again. And read those old instructions. Because they do tell you, as you might imagine, what you're supposed to do to play the game. Okay, now we're on our next ship. It says we have 1 ship left. I'm not sure if that counts this ship or if that means this ship including, you know, if it's just this is our 1 ship left or it's this ship plus another ship after this one. But let's start off by collecting a fair amount of cargo. And again, if you have ever played this game before, if you have information about this game, then certainly leave it in the comments below. Let's have a discussion about this sort of unique game where you're trying to find the Red Obelisk, particularly if you remember the instructions. Let's get a cargo of at least 5 going. Ooh, come on, just a little bit more, touch more. There we go. Three cargoes so far, just 2 more to go. Don't let it hit your ship. That takes a lot of power. When either the cargo or one of the asteroids hits your ship. Is that? Okay, that's good. That was lined up enough. Lined up enough. 4 cargo. And 5 cargo. Let's call that good. Have a whole lot of score. 4 cargo, 1 cap, 1 gem, 1 ship. Let's see. I think one thing you're doing with this cargo, in addition to trying to find the Red Obelisk, is you're trying to determine which ones are gems and which ones aren't. Like I said, at some point I'm going to have to look up the instructions again. This one has a fairly high density, a fairly high tolerance. Let's just see what happens if we laser it. Nope. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to figure out how the lasers are supposed to work. This one also has a fairly high density. Let's give it one of those cap thingies for whatever good that does. And then we'll just use the electrodes on it for a while, because that seems to increase its value like crazy for whatever reason. Give it all down, electrodes. Increase the value like crazy. How's the temperature doing on it? Oh, it's holding steady. A little bit more electrodes, and there's the value, 461. Let's absorb it. This one... Well, it seems very similar to the other ones that we've collected so far as its stats go. And this one... We're all out of caps, which I think just are basic, like, boosters. Boostery roosteries. And back into the asteroid belt. Now, I will say, when I have played this game before, when I originally had this game, I have found the Red Obelisk quite a few times. I just can't remember if it's a matter of fiddling with the cargo a little bit before absorbing it, and then you discover it's the Red Obelisk, or if you have to find one that's just the right type of cargo and then use the lasers on it, and then you discover it's the Red Obelisk, or what? But I see that ship is also out of power. So we'll see if we have one more ship. We do, and we have the cargo we left off with. It's only worth 12. We won't bother fiddling with it to gain the power from it. I guess that's one thing you can do, is just absorb the cargo directly without the fiddling. Without fiddling with it. Just to get a boost, a little power boost from it without having used any power on it, like with the electrodes or such, other than just the power of flying around in space and mining. Come on, dodge the asteroids. Zoop. Come on there. Look at that. We'll wait until our power gets down to 500, and then we'll return to the laboratory screen. Hopefully we can get at least 5 cargo by then. Whoa, look at that jump. Whoop. Come on. There's a little bit more cargo. It looks like we shouldn't have any problems getting to 5 cargo by the time we get to 500 power left. As long as we don't hit any of the asteroids or bump around the cargo too much like we just were. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Okay, close enough. There's 5 cargo. Let's see. This one has a value of 95. What if we just zap it a little bit? Zap it. Zap it a little bit. Zap it. A little bit more. Zap it. And zap it. And then absorb it. Bonus ship! Somehow we got a bonus ship out of that one. Maybe it's because the amount of score we get? Or I don't know. Value of 80. Zappy. Zappy. This one isn't increasing in value very quickly. We'll just... Oh, 25. Forget that. 28. Forget that. And 36. It does look like the value is directly corresponds to the amount of power you get out of it. Okay, just as an experiment, let's just use up almost all of our power using the electrodes. Just have to experiment. See what it does. Okay, that's enough. A little bit more. A little bit more. And there. Okay, maybe not a direct correlation, because that one had a value of like 500 something, and we only got power of 200 whatever out of it. Well, you know, before we continue our search for the Red Obelisk, I think I need to look up the instructions and sort of refresh on how to actually play the game and what all the little details mean. So, I think that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe to be notified of whenever I post a new video. Liking is always a wonderful thing to do. And tune in again next time for more retro fun.